You are now tuning into the Resilient Podcast. Enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 16 of the Resilience Podcast. I am your host, Rob Aurelius, and this episode is titled November Reflections of Resilience, Heartbreak, and Looking Ahead. First and foremost, before I start this episode, I would like to give a special thanks to Jose Cruz from the World Means Love Tour for being my guest on episode 15, which was the previous episode. If you folks have not seen or heard that episode yet, just go on YouTube, look up the Resilient Podcast, go on Spotify, look up the Resilient Podcast. So we're available on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon Music, and of course YouTube. And you will see the episode where I interviewed Jose. It was called Light. Great episode. One of the greatest interviews I've had so far. One of the greatest conversations I've had so far. So in this episode, we're going to talk about resilience, heartbreak, and looking ahead. And, first and foremost, again, before I get into this episode, I would like to thank two special people for helping me as of late. They have been working so hard. These guys have been working like workhorses, literally. And I need to take the time to thank them. These two people are Diego Serrano, who is the official ARCG photographer. And I need to thank Oscar Leal, who is our marketing and promotions associate. Oscar was on the podcast several episodes ago, and I told everybody who Oscar is and what Oscar does. And if you guys have not checked out that episode yet, please go check it out. That can't remember the episode number, but that episode I believe is named Faith, and it's Oscar and I. And again, Oscar and Diego, I want to give you both this shout out because I have to acknowledge how much you guys have done, how much you guys have contributed so far. And if it wasn't for you guys, a lot of the things I worked on recently would not come to life. So thank you very much. So let's get started, shall we? So folks, this is the third episode of the month of November. I've told you all that I was giving you 3 episodes this month, and this is the last episode of the month. The next episode will be in December, and I believe there will be 2 more episodes for the month of December. So the one after this, which would be 17, and then episode number 18, and that's it. I might give you 3. Who knows? Let's see how I feel. I might give you 3 episodes. But as of now, I only have scheduled 2 episodes. Let's see what happens. Because my availability as of late has been a little tricky because, the holidays are here. So folks, I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I did. I went to my friend Estefania's house. She made a great turkey, and I spent some time with her. I spent some time with a friend as well too, a mutual friend of ours. His name is Emerson, great guy, and I had a very good time. It was a very peaceful Thanksgiving. It wasn't like the Thanksgiving that I had last year. Last year's Thanksgiving was so special. It was the first Thanksgiving I was able to spend with a significant other in a very, very long time. And I was in Philadelphia with my ex-girlfriend, and her and her mother actually got together and made a very nice dinner. And till this day, I talk about it, and it's one of my fondest memories with her. And she made a corn souffle, and the corn souffle was so delicious. And I don't know if I'll ever have corn souffle ever again, and I don't know if anybody can ever make it as good as she made it, but it was so delicious. And reason why my friend Estefania had me come over to her house is because she knew that this year's Thanksgiving was going to be tough for me. The fact that I wasn't going to spend it with someone that I truly love, um, as a partner, because of course I love everybody that I'm surrounded with. Um, but I want to talk to you all about what happened last week. So last week there was three dates. There was the 19th, which was her birthday, the launch of the Resilience Tribune, which is a new platform, and on the 20th was the day that I was supposed to propose to her in Las Vegas. That's what I had planned. And I'd spoken to you all about it. I had mentioned to you all about it in the past, where I said that originally I was trying to get tickets to a concert to her favorite K-pop group. And unfortunately, because of their status back home, like, serving the military and whatnot, I wasn't able, they weren't able to have a tour anytime soon. And that was the original plan. I was originally going to propose to her at a concert and have Jungkook do the honors. For those of you who know who Jungkook is. But when I realized that that was not possible, I said to myself, well, how can I make this unique? And I remember the reason why Vegas was the option, the second option, plan B, is because she had never been to Vegas. And I wanted to make her first trip to Vegas special, unique, and memorable. And how memorable could this trip to Vegas be for the first time, with celebrating her birthday and the next day, the surprise engagement party? Um, then the 21st, which was the third day after, it made 9 months since her and I broke up. So it was 3 days just back to back where it was just pain and anguish and anger. And, you know, I did a lot of reflection last week, a lot of crying too. Um, it was just tears that needed to come out because I guess I was holding back for a while. And, folks, I'm at a point in my life where I understand that I'm human. I know that I'm human. It's obvious. And, people who have all these opinions about, oh, men don't cry or men this or men that. Um, Here's the thing. I am a human being. I have a heart. I have a brain. I have emotions. And I'm going to use them to the best of my ability. And last week was tough. And now we are here at the end of November. And even though I was able to somewhat survive what was November, the reflections of November, with, like I mentioned before, resilience and heartbreak. And now looking ahead to the month of December, even though December is also going to be very special to me. Um, I'm not sure if I touched this subject with everyone yet, but I have been very vocal about my seasonal depression. I've been dealing with seasonal depression for God knows how long, but when I was able to realize that it was seasonal depression, I started to see how I can find ways to overcome it and deal with it. And normally, what happens in the month of December, well, November, December, and January, I work so hard to try not to think about all the things that bother me. But here's the problem. Sometimes January comes along and I'm still in a funk and I feel like I'm still stuck in the year that just ended. And that happened to me this year. And it happened to me maybe to the year, I think it happened the year before that, 2023, 20, well, yeah, 2023, 2022. The COVID year, which is crazy. Everybody was excited for COVID, for 2020 to leave, right? 2020 was a year that we were supposed to be excited that it was coming. But how we spent it was terrible because, we were dealing with this pandemic. And once 2020 came, everybody was just happy. Like once it left, everybody was happy that 2020 left because they were like, listen, let's go to 2021. People are going to start getting vaccinated. They're going to start opening things up, and we will be coming back to normalcy. And of course, we didn't come back to normalcy till like at least 2022, right? So, um, next month is going to be difficult. It's going to be very difficult for me. And I want to talk about the launch of the Resilience Tribune, which was last week, November 19th. And the purpose of the platform is to share stories of strength, growth, and perseverance, and of course, resilience. So, folks, please follow this link that I'm pointing at right now, www.resilienctribune.com, and check out the website. Let me know what you think about it. And if you want to submit your story of resilience, please do so by just reaching out to us. You can also contact us at info@resilienctribune.com. It's right here. And, I want to share that the emotional significance of the dates, when the date that I launched the Resilience Tribune is like I mentioned before, it's the exact same date as my ex-girlfriend's birthday. And I want to reflect on its personal impact, how it affected me. I want to reflect on personal milestones. I want to discuss with you all right now the emotional weight of what November 19 was. November 19 to me last year was such a beautiful day. She was turning 30. She was in New York because we were celebrating her birthday in New York. And it was just a beautiful time. Beautiful time. I wanted to do more for her. I sacrificed so much for her for that birthday. The truth of the matter is, I wasn't in the right headspace when her birthday came around because I was, again, dealing with seasonal depression. I wasn't doing so well financially. I was a little backed up with my credit cards, but I actually sacrificed and kind of pushed so much stuff out of the way just to make sure that I could give her the best birthday possible. And even though I did what I did, I still ended up wanting, I wasn't content. So I wanted to do more for her. And I knew I could do more for her, but unfortunately, I was a little bit limited with my resources. But if I could do it again, if I was able to do it again, I would have done it all over again. For her, always. Why? Because I cared about her. I loved her, still love her. But, sometimes you do things for your significant others, right? Because you just want to show them that you love them, that you care about them. So, when the 19th came, what I chose to do was I chose to be positive. So, right now, what I would like to share with everyone is what I wrote on social media that day. And it's going to be a little long, but I want to share with everyone. And it's a post that I made on Instagram, well, on all my social channels. And for those of you that can see it on YouTube, this is it right here. And it's a picture of me walking in Prospect Park by my house in Brooklyn. And it was shot by the amazing Diego Serrano. And it's a picture of me wearing the Resilience jacket. Now, the photo is in black and white because it was edited. And it shows that the Resilience logo as you can see here, you probably can't really see it. The Resilience logo is like in gold, but actually the Resilience logo is actually white on my jacket. So I wanted to share with you all what I said on that post. And this is what I said. Today, I am supposed to be celebrating the birthday of the person who I thought was the love of my life. Instead, I am launching a new platform, the Resilience Tribune. This year has tested me beyond anything I ever imagined, challenging my mental strength and pushing me into the brink. But in the face of what I thought would break me, I found faith, perseverance, and most importantly, resilience. I am launching the Resilience Tribune for those who share similar stories, for those who have faced countless obstacles and challenges, yet remain true to themselves, given themselves another chance, and work towards a better future. This platform is for every person who has chosen to rise from the ashes and continue their journey with renewed strength. The Resilience Tribune is officially launched today, 11/19/2024. Visit www.resilienctribune.com to join this beautiful community, share your story, and draw inspiration from the stories of others who embody resilience. What began originally as an idea for the Brooklyn Tribune, founded in 2013, a project that I struggled to bring to life, has transformed into something that aligns perfectly with my current journey. Resilience Tribune represents my pursuit of greatness, perseverance, and unwavering resilience. I invite everyone to explore this platform and contribute their own stories of strength. If you have a journey of resilience that you wish to share, please reach out. This space was made for you. I want to take a moment to thank those who have supported me through thick and thin during this journey. Oscar, Joshi, Maddie Rock, Carl, Diego Serrano, Justin, James, Estefania, Mike, aka Dusty Rhodes, Danny Ocean, Megaran, John and Jessica Spencer, The Rock, Jose Cruz, Cody, and Dustin Rhodes, aka Goldust. And everyone who has been a part of this journey since the very beginning of the Resilient Podcast. Your support means everything to me. While today looks different than I once imagined, I send heartfelt wishes and a happy birthday to someone special from afar. I wish her the very best, and my love for her will always remain strong. I wish her resilience on her journey, wherever it may lead. And there's a little bit more to that. And then at the end, I said, join me on this new path. Be part of a community where resilience is celebrated and shared. Let's lift each other up and remind ourselves that our struggles do not define us. It is how we rise from them that truly matters. Salute. And that was my post on social media on the 19th when the Resilient Tribune launched. Now let's talk about the emotional significance of, the emotional weight of November 20th, a day that was intended for a life-changing proposal in Las Vegas, and how this moment never came to fruition. I've never proposed to anyone in my life. I never thought about, let's just say that in time, like in life, we think about these things, right? But there was never anyone that I was in a relationship with that I wanted to propose to more than her. Why? I don't know. I've had longer relationships. I had two relationships where I was with someone for over 2 years, and I didn't think of proposing to them, but I did think about it with her. Um, I was able to do some content on the 19th and the 20th because I was in Queens, Long Island City, where I celebrated her birthday last year. I stood over at we were shooting in the hotel. And we actually shot a picture in the hotel, which I will share with you all later on in this episode. Um, and again, I was supposed to be in Las Vegas. And at one point I was thinking, should I go to Las Vegas and just, enjoy myself out there and give, because I had spoken to my therapist about this. And my therapist said to me, Rob, sometimes you do so much for people and you barely do much for yourself. Treat yourself, take care of yourself. And even though I do have a plan and intend, I'm not sure if, I'm still working on it, but I do have a plan to go to Las Vegas next year for WrestleMania 41. It's not set in stone. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to commit because, now that the Resilience Tribune is here, I'm a very committed man. And I've taken on some responsibilities. Like I've been working a little longer with Dolce Gabbana. Um, I'm doing much more things for ARCG Media. And, WrestleMania is usually like my PTO time. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to take the PTO when I want to take the PTO, if I'm going to have to take the PTO a little quick sooner than usual, or maybe a little later. But God willing, I will be at WrestleMania 41 next year in Las Vegas. Um, I mentioned this before. I had to reach out to everyone that was a part of this proposal, and just let them know it was not going to happen. And you know how sad it feels when you have to reach out to people and let them know that you're no longer doing this. And then sometimes they ask, oh no, is everything okay? And it's so crazy. So crazy. One of the people that I had reached out to, when I shared it with them, that it was no longer happening, they said, what happened? Is she gone? And I said, yes, she is, unfortunately. And the person misunderstood and thought that she was gone, like she died. And they were like, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry for your loss. My condolences. And I said, no, 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 no. She didn't pass away. God forbid. But they were like, nonetheless, sorry for your loss because it is a loss. And I was like, yeah. And I thought about it and I shared it with my therapist. And I said, it feels like somebody died, even though nobody died. And then my therapist says to me, the way you are grieving this breakup is like you're grieving a loss. You did lose that person. You're probably never going to hear from that person ever again. You're probably never going to see that person ever again. So unfortunately, it's you're grieving that loss. And man, it was just so surreal. Like I remember one day I was leaving my office, and I have an office in Brooklyn, and I was heading home, and I was in the street, and I remember talking to myself and saying, "No, this is the reality." Like I don't know where that came from, but I guess I was thinking about something, and then just out loud, I spoke to myself, and I said, "No, Rob, this is the reality. The reality is you're a single man. She's not with you anymore. You guys broke up. She's doing her. Now you have to do you." And that's just the truth. And just hearing myself say that, it just crushed me. It crushed my heart in pieces. I do want to share the post that I shared that day, the 20th, which was the next day. And this was another post that I posted on social media. And this was a picture that Diego took of me at the hotel. And For those of you that watch the video on YouTube, the podcast on YouTube, this is a picture of me having a shot of Terramana. You could actually see the Terramana bottle in the photo. And if you look very closely, there's another glass there that was not occupied. And that glass was in tribute to her. And also, you can't really see it in this photo, but there's a little gold piece there. And that's actually the cover where I had her engagement ring. And I kept that. And a lot of people think I'm crazy for keeping that. But let's just say that I guess when I'm ready to finally let go, because at some point I have to let go. Don't know when that's going to happen, but I'm not going to do it because somebody wants me to do it. I'm going to do it when I feel that it's time to. When I let it go, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I'm either going to bury the ring, I'm going to throw it in the ocean, maybe, or I'm going to donate it to someone who could actually benefit off of it. The only problem is that this ring had her initials in it, APA. So, of course, that can be taken care of, but that costs money just to erase that and put something else. So, I want to share what I wrote that day on November 20th. And this is what I said. Today, I was supposed to wake up in Las Vegas as someone's fiance. This morning, I thought I'd be sharing the happiest moment of my life, a picture of her hand with a rose gold ring on her finger and the words, "She said yes." Written with so much pride and joy. I was so looking forward to telling the world that I finally tied the knot with my forever, the woman I believed I would spend the rest of my life with. But life had different plans. She had a different path, one that didn't intertwine with mine. And while she moved forward on her journey, I was left to pick up the pieces of what I wanted so badly to hold on to. Yesterday, on her birthday, I raised a glass of Terramana tequila in her honor and to celebrate the official launch of the Resilience Tribune and all of the success that's yet to come. Today, I raised that same glass for another reason. Even though I didn't get to experience my moment today, this is a toast to new beginnings, new blessings, resilience, perseverance, love, prosperity, abundance, and joy. To those who dare to propose to their significant other today on Wednesday, November 20th, 2024, and heard the words yes, I want to congratulate both of you from the bottom of my heart. May your journey be filled with endless love and blessings. And to those still waiting for their moment or healing from one that didn't happen, I see you and I stand with you. Personally, I don't know if I'll ever get the chance to kneel down and ask someone, will you marry me? But I do know this. I will remain resilient. I will pour into the people who pour into me. I will cherish this incredible gift called life and continue moving forward with a heart full of love and gratitude. Here's to life, love, and unshakable strength that keeps us going. Salute. I I was sad at the fact that what I had originally to post for the 20th, which I still have in my notes. It was a bitter pill to swallow to know that I could not post that original message, that I had to pivot and write something else. And I came up with that same day, actually, on the 20th. Diego came back to the hotel to get ready to shoot content for the documentary, and he knew that he had to do this photo, and he said to me, "Do you know what you want to say?" And I said, "I have an idea," and I read it to him, and then we went over some things, and I made a few changes, and like I said, it wasn't easy. It's very hard to make peace with something you don't want to make peace with. And then that night, I did some content for the Resilience Project, which is our documentary, and it was difficult. It really was, but I got through it. Thank you, Lord, but I got through it. And then the third day, November 21st, that was a Thursday. It was marking 9 months since the breakup. And each of those dates connect to my journey of healing. Processing these holiday memories, it's crazy. And, you know, I mentioned to you guys yesterday, which was Thanksgiving, Thursday. Um, I was reflecting on the Thanksgiving memories that I had with her last year, with her and her mother when I went to Philadelphia. I don't know is ever going to, if anyone's mom is ever going to cook for me for Thanksgiving. I also want to acknowledge the bittersweet feelings as I navigate during the holidays while focusing on gratitude and new beginnings. I did say that I'm looking forward to December, but I want to talk about the upcoming dates in December. Next week, December 5th, it will be my grandmother's death anniversary. She passed away in 2019. It's also my sister's birthday. My sister's turning 32. I love my grandmother and I miss her very much. Life has not been the same since she's been gone. But it breaks my heart that my sister, as much as she would love to celebrate her birthday, she's always going to remember grandma died that day. And imagine the person you love the most in your life dying that same day, the day that's your birthday. My heart goes out to my sister. I love her very much. And thank you for giving me my beautiful niece to see her. So I mentioned, my grandmother's death, but I also want to talk about the reflections on the love and wisdom that my grandmother instilled in me. My grandmother was the greatest person I ever had in my life. And I could never replicate that. I could never let someone else take that spot. My ex girlfriend was the second person next to my grandmother. But unfortunately, she didn't want that spot. And that's okay. So I want to talk about the emotional challenges of the holiday season, especially remembering that my first and only Christmas with my ex girlfriend and all the unresolved tension that ultimately led up to the breakup is always going to be in the back of my mind. The tension started after Christmas. A lot of stuff happened on the 25th, well, the 24th and the 25th. And I kept it to myself. And then I said to myself, I don't want to talk to her about it now. I just want to talk to her about it when I get back to New York. because I spent Christmas with her in Philly. And man, some days I feel like I wish I never told her the things I told her, but then at the same time, I say to myself, if I never told her, I was only going to allow her to continue to do what she was doing, which was hurt my feelings. So I spoke about how I felt. I spoke about how she made me feel. And instead of it turning into a conversation where it's like, hey, let's talk about this, it turned into me getting punished. And after that, she changed. And in January, she mentioned that she felt that we were not compatible. And then in February, things just went down south. And then by March, she was acting single already. And then finally, we broke up. I want to talk about the themes of resilience and growth. The importance of resilience in navigating personal loss, heartbreak, and the shifting significance of once joyous dates. These are going to be dates that are always going to cross my mind, but I just always have to remain resilient. I have no choice. I will always have to remain resilient and keep the faith. With me launching the Resilience Tribune, it's not just about storytelling, but also a symbol of turning pain into purpose. And when those dates come up, like I said, I will remain resilient and I will be turning all that pain into purpose. November 19th was the first day of that, of this year, November 19th, 2024. So 2025, 2026, 2027, and all those years to come, I will always remember to use the Resilience Tribune as a symbol of turning pain into purpose. Now, some closing thoughts. I want to offer a message of hope for my listeners who may be struggling with similar emotional weights during the holiday season. I have said this before. You are not alone. You are not alone. I see you. I hear you. I am here for you, no matter who you are. I reached out to a friend last week who I saw was struggling, and I told him, reach out, don't hesitate. If you feel that you don't have anyone to support you or whatever the case may be, that's fine. Sometimes we feel like we have nothing, we have no one. But please listen to me right now. You have me. Whether we know each other or not, you have me. Do not hesitate. If you follow me on Instagram, if you follow me on Twitter, if you follow me on Facebook, if you have my personal number or my email address, reach out to me. Talk to me. I'm here for you. And I want you to remember that. We're in this together, folks. We're in this together. I want all of us to look ahead with optimism, which will allow us to focus on our personal growth and the healing journey as we transition from November to December. I know there's a lot of people out there that suffer from seasonal depression. I'm not the only one. And I've embraced it. And I'm okay with it. And I am here to help those that need someone. Put your egos aside, put your pride aside, put everything aside, put your guard down and talk. Please talk. Speak up. Don't be afraid of someone making fun of you. Don't be afraid that someone's not going to want to listen. Don't worry about those people. If anybody's denied you, if anybody's made you feel like you're not worthy, if anybody has made you feel like whatever you're going through is stupid, cool. That's them. That's their perspective. But that's not me. That's not how I feel. You're entitled to your feelings. You're entitled to the way that you feel. And I want you all to know that. I love every single one of you. And I want to take this time because I haven't been able to do it on social media. And I will be saying it on social media eventually, but I want to take this time to thank every single person that has followed the Resilience Tribune since its launch. I have about 114 followers on the page in a week, and I appreciate all 114 of you. Thank you for following the Resilience Podcast. Thank you for following the Resilience Tribune. And before I go, I just want to share with you all, for some of you that are dealing with mental health, for some of you that are dealing with anxiety and whatnot, it's okay. I have a solution for you. And I promise this will work for you. My friend, Victor, my business associate at Nala Health, has allowed me to share a very special code with everyone. Whenever you visit his website, which is www.nalahealth.com. And when you go on the website, you'll see things there that are good for therapy, natural remedies, such as CBD, CBN, and CBC. There's these phytoceutical formulas that help you with anxiety. There's one that helps you with insomnia. There's even one that helps you with inflammation, and I love using that one because it's helped a lot with my inflammation over the years. But folks, the beautiful part about it is that Nala Health is partnering up with the Resilience Tribune, with the Resilient Podcast, and they're offering 10% off your order. And this is always, every time you make a purchase. This is unlimited. This is not one-time use. Every time that you make a purchase on nalahealth.com, use the code ARCG10 for 10% off your purchase. And this code is for you because I care about you. I want you to feel better. I want your anxiety to go away. I want all these pains to be alleviated. So shout out to Victor Melgar for allowing me to have this opportunity for this amazing partnership. And as I mentioned before, nalahealth.com. It's more than just CBD. You'll be surprised what you see on that website. Thank me later. But folks, this concludes episode 16 of the Resilient Podcast. And before I go, here's my message to the world. Life is such a precious gift, and we must appreciate it. There's a saying out there that, life is what you make it. Things happen that you allow. And even though there's truth to pretty much almost everything that's always said, that's fine. But the truth of the matter is life is a gift. Life is precious. You matter. You matter to me. You matter to others. And whenever you feel discouraged and you feel that no one thinks you matter, remember that I, Rob Aurelius, I'm telling you that you matter. You always will matter. Your life is just as precious and just as unique and just as valid as anyone else's life. Don't let anyone or anything tell you different. You're beautiful. You're amazing. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for what you're doing. So, folks, remember to love each other. There's too much going on in the world right now. I have had one of the most heartbreaking and devastating years in my entire life. I'm not letting it break me down. Suicide was on my mind back in the beginning of 2024. And now I'm ending 2024 soon. And I didn't act on it. And I'm so proud of myself. We're all doing our very best. Keep up the good work. Keep going no matter what. And love yourself. Please love yourself. Because when you start loving yourself, ultimately, those that are meant to love you will follow. So remember that always. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate you all for tuning in. And remember to visit my new platform, The Resilient Tribune, at resilienctribune.com. May God bless you all, and I'll see you in episode 17 next month in December. And remember, folks, one life to live, live it well. This is Rob Aurelius saying goodbye from the Resilient Podcast, and I'll see you all soon. Happy holidays. I hope you had all a great Thanksgiving, and I look forward to the next episode. Peace.